The beta group is finally open, and if you guys are interested, I'll leave the link in the description below and you guys can go and enroll in that, and I'll see you guys inside the beta group. What is good? Welcome back to the channel. It feels like I haven't done a YouTube video where I've just sat down in front of the camera and spoke normally for a long time. Basically, in today's video, I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update on my life, what's been going on, what I've been working on, why have I not been uploading. I kind of like touching upon the previous 2 videos that I've dropped, talking about my, course and stuff like that. But first, let's get into SMMA. So my SMMA is kind of in a transition mode right now. I'm actually looking for some salespeople. So I'm actually looking for cold callers who's gonna, be able to hit up on the, jump on the phones and, work with me. So if you are a cold caller, by the way, just send me a email or send me a direct message on Instagram. I'll leave my, information below so you can get at me. Please, I'm actually looking for real serious people to help me take my agency forward, and obviously you will be paid commission based, but you will be paid generously. So if you are, a cold caller, you're confident on the phones, and you believe you can, provide value to me, and you want to work with me, then just, send me over a DM or an email or something like that. But anyway, guys, recently I was talking about, well, not recently, it was back in like January times, I was talking about the dentist niche. Well, I'm done and dusted with the dentist niche, the dental niche. And the reason for that, guys, is I don't like to be seen as a quitter, but there comes a point where, you're bashing your head against the wall, and sometimes I don't want to say the grass is greener on the other side, because I believe that SMMA is possible with all niches. I mean, I did get a dental client, but guys, it's just that the outreach methods to actually try to get the principal dentist, like the actual owner, is absolutely, it's like one of the hardest niches to actually do. It doesn't matter whether you're doing cold calls, cold email, cold video drops, Loom videos, LinkedIn. I've tried all of them. It's just, I wouldn't say it's impossible. It's definitely not impossible. 100% it's not impossible. And if you're watching this and you're in the dentist niche, don't let this discourage you. Please, I'm not trying to do that here. I'm just giving you an update on what's going on. But anyway, guys, I was literally hammering out outreach. I'm talking 50 emails a day, like on autopilot. I know you shouldn't do, outreach on autopilot, like automated outreach. But there is a good way to actually do that and still make it really personal, using software such as Mailshake and stuff like that, which I actually teach, which I'm actually going to be teaching in module 7 of my course, which, by the way, the beta group's open, but I'll get to that in a second. Links in the description if you want to check that out. But anyway, guys, I was doing all this outreach. I was doing the Facebook messages. Let me give you some real numbers here. There was one day I did, not one day, there was one period in my life where I did like 300 cold calls to dentists using multiple different scripts, changing up my tonality, and I still set 0 meetings. Like, I'm not even joking. I tell this story to all my students when they, try to pick a niche. Not that I'm trying to, push them off picking a niche, but, why would you make an already, it's already hard enough to start a business, so why make it even that extra harder on yourself and pick the dentist niche? Dentist niche is a quite hard niche to get into. Ask anybody. I've seen a lot of, because obviously I was in the dentist niche, I did a lot of research into the dentist niche, into the best types of outreach methods for the dentist niche, what you should say, what you shouldn't say, how to get the actual decision maker, and it was damn near impossible. I mean, think about it. These dentists are like the busiest people on earth. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think they're gonna be around their phones much. In fact, they're basically never around their phones. Only on like lunch breaks or like after work or something like that. And they work ridiculous hours already, guys. And another thing I actually figured out, guys, is that some of these dentists I was reaching out to. So once I finally got the discovery call set up and stuff like that, and I was offering them to bring them in more leads. That was like the last thing they wanted. They were so busy, they had like a waiting list for like months in advance. So there was actually this one particular case where this dentist had like a waiting list for at least like 3-4 months or something like that. So I was, it got to a point where I was doing all this outreach, 50 emails on autopilot. I was doing my LinkedIn 25 connection requests on autopilot a day. I was doing 20 Facebook messages and 10 Instagram messages just to see if, which one was working. So that's what 50 emails, 25 LinkedIn, that's 75 already, 95 with the Facebooks, and then so I'm basically doing 105 different connection points or engagements or outreach, whatever you want to call them, a day. So I was doing 105 pieces of contact, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I was contacting 105 different businesses a day, guys, and I did that for a good couple of weeks. I mean, it was like 3.5 weeks or something like that, and there was one point in my life where it was like everyone else was getting like crazy success. Even some of my students were getting like more success than me, and I was like, what am I actually doing here? And so it was getting to that point, guys, where it was like, maybe I should try something else. It cannot be this hard. I mean, I did it before with the dentist, and I was doing. So for example, in business, whenever you find something that works, you always double down on it. Everybody knows that. You throw shit at a wall until something sticks. Once you find that thing that sticks, you double down on that. So I doubled down on like the Facebook video outreach, like literally created like, I believe you guys, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you know that I did the whole sit the camera up and you basically go through and say somebody's name, You take those name drops, so basically you're just saying, hi Dr. John, hi Dr. I don't know, whatever you want to call them, hi Dr. X, hi Dr. Z, hi Dr. Y, whatever you want to call them, and you're basically just saying that on the camera like I'm sat right now, and you then clip that name and put it onto like a scripted video, so it's like, hi Dr. X, and then it kind of flows into your script on what you're saying, what you're trying to actually say to them to set this discovery call. So I did a lot of those so I could send them out at mass. So basically I was trying to scale up my video outreach, and it was working well. I was actually getting compliments from like the gatekeepers saying, this is not for us, but we really do like how you've differentiated yourself with the old videos and stuff. And when I was on a discovery call with a couple of dentists, they actually even said that we're only on this discovery call, to be honest, because you stood out and it actually did something different. So I do still believe in video drops, by the way. It's just that the dentist niche, I just don't think they need, the people I personally reached out to, again, I'm not saying that the dentist niche is, something you shouldn't get into. I know there's going to be someone in the comments like, no. I know that there's someone going to be in the comments still saying, no, this is stupid, dentist niche is working fine for me. I know it's going to work for you guys if you keep consistent with it. I'm just saying that there was one day where I just couldn't take it anymore, and I ended up switching to the real estate niche. Now, the reason for that is, guys, is because I was just sat there and I was super like low. Like, I'll be real with you guys. I was like, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was like definitely borderline depressed. I was literally just sat there like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? I got so much I had like so much like anxiety. I had so much like pressure on me, and so like I had a lot of like pressure on me, guys. So I had to come up with something. I had to change something. Something had to change, basically. And I just said to myself, I sat there and I was thinking to myself, Montel, if you could start all again and pick a niche you actually care about. That's another thing. I didn't even actually care too much about the dentist niche. The only reason why I kind of picked it was because I thought, the retainer fee could be high. But anyway, we'll get into that in a bit. But anyway, guys, I was just thinking to myself, if I was going to pick a niche that I'm actually genuinely interested in, that I could talk about all day, every day, it would either be, about cars or houses, because I love those types of things. Like, I love like cars, not even the fancy ones. Like, I love all types of cars, like cars in general. I'm a guy, so it's probably a guy thing, I guess. I've always been brought up on like nice cars, and like I said, not just nice cars, but cars in general. And houses as well. I've always been interested in houses. My father actually does like property management, where he's like a professional landlord. So he basically buys houses and He'll fix them up and then rent them out to tenants. And I've actually been on my own hands and knees, you know, actually painting some walls and helping him with certain stuff, and like having to carry things out of the van into the house to actually help him. And like me and my brother have. And so I thought to myself, you know, also, before I even get into that, I also used to think, you know, back in like my school days, like if I was ever going to become a millionaire, and I've always wanted to be like a millionaire, I don't know what it is, but I always thought that I would do it through like real estate. And obviously, normally it takes quite a substantial investment to get into real estate. I mean, there are ways to do it without a substantial investment, such as, you know, OPM, you're using other people's money and stuff like that. But we wanted to get into that. That's a whole different beast in itself. But anyway, guys, so I always thought, you know, to build true wealth, it's through real estate and property investment and stuff like that, which it pretty much is. You can definitely, that's one of the most surefire ways, no doubt about it. Not even, no, you cannot even argue with that, that real estate is like one of the main ways and one of the most known ways to, you know, acquire true wealth. I'm not talking about riches, I'm talking true wealth. And so I thought to myself, you know what, I'm actually interested in properties, so why not just give it a go? So I thought, you know, I didn't even use my own system. So the systems that I actually have developed myself, which is, you know, go to places like Google and Yelp, and you can basically pull in and extract leads, so you don't have to, you know, copy and paste all these leads. I didn't even use that. I just went straight to Google, because this is how spare of the moment it was. I just went to Facebook, sorry. So I just went to Facebook and I just typed in, you know, real estate agents in my city, which is Sheffield. Sent out 20 messages, guys. Listen to the kicker here. I sent out 20 messages and I set 4 discovery calls and had 2 extra replies saying that they weren't interested. Now, you're probably thinking that sounds okay, but why are you excited about the people that are saying not interested? Well, guys, when it comes to the dentist niche, when you're actually trying to reach out to people, if you're not like amazing at outreach, like you have to be very good at outreach to actually reach the actual, you can't just use standard tactics when you're in the dentist niche, put it that way. Again, I'm not trying to say this to scare you guys, but I found that it's really hard. In my particular case, it might just be me being dumb. I don't know, it might be. You could be getting some great results with it, but I just found that like emails were very unresponsive. The Facebook messages, they were unresponsive, but the video kind of like was working, wasn't working as well as what it does with the real estate niche and stuff like that. But like the reason why I'm getting excited over the nose, guys, is because at least that's some sort of feedback I can then use to change the script if it's not working. So for example, I like to look at, you know, starting the SMMA as a science experiment. So first of all, you've got to get your leads. I always break SMMA down into 5, you know, categories. So or pillars, I like to call them. So a base, like a 10,000 foot overview, you can actually break SMMA down into like 5 parts, I believe. So the first part is actually, you know, you've got to master, you know, getting leads in. Because I mean, well, before that, you actually have to master your mindset and all that good stuff. But let's just pretend that we've done all that. So now we've got to obviously go out and find businesses to reach out to, because if you don't reach out to anybody, we're not going to set any discovery calls, and no discovery calls are then, if we don't have discovery calls, we're not going to close clients. It's just as simple as that. So the first pillar is basically, you know, you've got to go and find leads to go and reach out to. The second part is, once you've found leads, you actually have to, you know, leads and prospecting is one. You then have to, once you've done your lead sourcing and your prospecting, you have to obviously master your outreach. So your outreach then will set discovery calls then set, you know, your closing, and then your closing leads to, you know, like onboarding and you know, handling clients and dealing with clients and, you know, service delivery basically. So I believe that it can be broken down into like 5 modules if you look at it logically at a 10,000 foot view. There's probably, obviously there's more like little intricacies inside there and stuff like that, but the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that I look at the model in 5 pieces, and the second piece is outreach. So if you master your outreach, and to master outreach, you have to try multiple different things here, guys. So you have to try multiple different things and see what works, see what doesn't. But to see that sort of stuff, you have to keep, you know, certain variables the same and only change one variable. It's kind of like running a Facebook ad where you're doing a split test. You want to change the headline, but you might want to keep the creative the same, or you keep the creative and the headlines the same, but you change the targeting. So you only want to change one thing at once. So one thing at a time. So I actually believe that, you know, when you're doing your outreach and stuff like that, you should keep it on one platform, test that one platform with one script at a time, and then you get feedback on that script on that particular platform. Because again, each platform you outreach on, so LinkedIn, cold calls, you know, cold email, Facebook, Instagram, they're all different platforms. They all require different methods of outreach. So if you just stick to one outreach for like a week or something, so like you do your emails, or you could just break it down into, you know, this script for emails, this script for Facebooks, and test them on 2 different platforms. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is keep the platform the same, but and the script the same, so you can get feedback on that one platform for that particular one script. Then you get feedback on that script. If it doesn't work, you change out the script on that same platform and see if that one works on that platform. And then if it does work, you double down on that. And so that's kind of how I see this business model. But when it came to the dentist niche, nobody was replying. Therefore, I couldn't get that feedback to tell myself, well, you know what, it might be the outreach that's actually sucking. Because I'm like, how can you, you know, change something if you don't know if something's broken or not? So that's kind of why I changed to real estate niche, and why I'm kind of excited about, you know, the people saying that they're not interested, because then now I can actually go and figure out how to handle that no, I'm not interested, using some sort of, you know, script or whatnot. But the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is basically I was getting feedback, and now I can handle that feedback, change certain things, and correct it for the next time round. Whereas if you don't get feedback, you can't correct anything because you don't know what's actually broken. So I'm getting good feedback at the moment. On my 4 discovery calls, I almost closed the first dude. Literally almost closed the first dude. The first ever discovery call with an estate agent. The only reason why I believe I didn't is because I was like, I just didn't know enough about the niche, to be honest. Like I didn't know the like sold subject to contract, all these like little terms here and there. I was like, yeah, sure. And I think he like could kind of tell that I was like such a newbie in this. But SMMA is going great at the moment. It's kind of slow though, by the way, because I've ever since I've rewatched Sam Ovans's training, his consulting accelerator program, I feel like I'm turning more into a consultant, which is okay with me, completely okay with me. It's because that's what the whole course teaches you to do. You know, you find a skill, you sell the skill. It's basically like running a social media marketing agency. So you go and, you know, learn Facebook ads, you sell Facebook ads to a actual business owner. Whereas now I've learned systems, and now I can sell systems to other people. So I help people, you know, systemize and automate certain parts of their agency, so it's very streamlined. And that's where I'm at now, right now, guys. Basically, I'm just been consulting a lot of people. I'm still doing. It's weird because if you actually think about it, I'm still doing the same thing, but I'm doing a completely different thing. So what I mean by that is, instead of going to business owners, local business owners, and, you know, providing them with Facebook ads, I'm going to business owners and providing them a different service. So it's basically the same thing. I'm still doing a service. It's just that the model is slightly different, and the people I'm working with are slightly different. And I'm really enjoying what I'm doing at the moment. Like I don't have to like worry about bills anymore. I'm not in that scarcity mindset. My anxiety is going down, and stuff like that. But guys, just giving you the last little bit of update. If you guys are interested in my SMMA lead sourcing alchemy course, the beta group is actually officially open, you guys. Now what you're going to get from the beta group is basically where I'm going to put a mastermind group together. There's going to be about 20 of us. Please bear in mind that 10 spots have actually been taken already, so there's only 10 spots left, guys. That's not no scarcity BS. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I'm actually counting down these spots, and I'm actually going to close it when it gets to 20 spots, because I just want to work with 20 people so that they can, you know, take the course, give me feedback. And again, it's another one of those feedback things like I was mentioning in the video, where I'm trying to help you guys build your own dream course, basically. So right now in the modules, there's 4 modules. Right now in the course, there's 4 modules, sorry. There's, you know, automating, you know, your Google lead sourcing, automating your LinkedIn. There's automating the right way, basically, by the way, and automating your Yelp lead sourcing. And bear in mind, guys, if you follow me on Instagram, all the testimonials you've ever seen have just come from me teaching like 80% of module 2, and then there's 3 other modules that I've not actually taught those people, and I've been seeing students with great success. I'm also going to be adding there's also going to be 7 modules, and the 7th module is going to be like all about outreach. I'm talking about like Loom outreach, using video outreach, using Facebook outreach, when you should use email, how to use email, how to automate email the right way. I don't like automating outreach. You'll see that in the course. But yeah guys, the beta group is finally open, and if you guys are interested, I'll leave the link in the description below, and you guys can go and enroll in that, and I'll see you guys inside the beta group. So guys, that's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Just a little bit of an update. I'm doing well. Anxiety's, you know, all good. Financially, the best I've ever been, ever, to be honest. So guys, see you guys in the next video. Peace.